There's rumors you were very close to buying WCW. Was that true? And what was that whole situation?
Well, when they said they were going out of business, I called some investment bankers that I knew and said, it is probably the worst managed company of any kind in America.
And you knew it from working there too.
Oh, yeah. And I said, well, you know, you knew it from working there, knew it from the staff they had, knew it from the insanity of the talent. I mean, nobody even kept up with when the talent rolled over. So they must have had 24 people that got paid every week that the booker didn't know they worked for him.
I think Lanny Poffel told the story. They say he got paid for 3 years and didn't wrestle one match.
They didn't know that he worked there.
He got 3 years of pay.
Yeah, so, you know, with this background, I called him and I said, I don't know what it'll take to buy it, but whatever it is, I can make your money back. And so anyway, they came up with they sent everything to John Corcoran, my lead investment banker friend, and John offered them $70 million, and they turned it down. Not only did they turn it down, they never responded.
Wow. And then Vince buy for like $5 million or something?
I don't know the figure.
It was something small.
Yeah.
Are you glad you didn't buy it in hindsight or no?
I don't know. I mean, you know.
Business has been a lot different today.
You know, I don't think that you can live your life like that. Everything that's ever happened in my life, everything, the good and the bad, my heart attack, my open heart surgery, losing my eye, the problems with Jeff, everything that's ever happened in my life has turned out to be a blessing.
Right.
Some of them I don't know. I think they're a tragedy at the time, but they turn out to be a blessing. So
everything happens for a reason. Is pretty much.
I believe that with all my heart. And so what might have been, woulda, shoulda, coulda, you know, I don't know. At the time, I really wanted it because it was a great challenge.
Just to say you did get it, even though you don't believe in like all that. Just to say you did get it. What would have you done different? And what who do you fire right away? Who do you hired? And who would have been your top program and top wrestler kind of deal? Like from like a booking aspect.
Yeah. Well, we had a big meeting down there, and I told them. I said, because the meeting was not for me to buy it. They called me down to just ask, what would you do? And I said, I would release all of the talent, everybody here, and start back from scratch. And I'll have the meeting for you and say, we're giving all of you, we're releasing all of you, you're free to go to Vince. And now, I'm going to be interviewing in the building, in the room across the hall. So if you'd like to be interviewed, and I said, then I'll get rid of all these huge guarantees that are incentive killers.
But if they release on a contract, then you still have to pay it out, or Time Warner would have to pay that, right?
What?
You're saying you're going to release everybody.
Well, what I'm saying to everybody is that we can't function with this. Now, the truth of the matter is, there's some of them that would have said, well, I've got a contract.
Yeah, the Goldberg, Nash, all those guys.
Yeah. And then what I would have said to them was, okay, I'll keep paying it. And then I would book the one that had the multi-million-dollar contract against Sky Low and say, you know, it's a great idea. A midget beat you.
Do they want to go? Do you think they would actually do it though? You know, some of those guys had creative contract too, didn't they? Creative clauses.
Only Hogan.
Only Hogan had it.
Yeah. But at any rate, I mean, it wouldn't have come to that. If they'd have released them, they would have all said, all right, because the top ones would have figured they'd go to Vince and make more money.
Right.
All I'm saying is that's what took the company down. Not the money, but the lack of drive.
Just once they had the money, they were.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm rich. Do I think that would have worked? Yeah, I think it would have. Would it? I don't know.
So, who do you see being the top star if you had it?
Probably Hall and Nash.
All that, but isn't Nash kind of one of those guys who's lethargic and?
No, I don't know. You gotta realize that this guy's a giant with a bad knee, and so you have to book to his talents, not to what you want.
To say Hall and Nash, wouldn't it be too associated with the old era, where you're going to be the new era taken, or you don't buy into that?
No, I don't buy it. I think that
because when they were trying to change it, you saw like they did that job to Hogan with the Vince Russo nonsense, and they're trying to push Booker and Scott. You'd have stayed with the guys you already had.
well, I'd have done entirely different programs. I would have. I believe that just about every wrestler can play themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Do you work?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to be successful, play you.
Right.
And then blow you to caricature size. But play you. Now, if you try to play Hogan, you look phony. If you try to play Scott Hall, you look phony. If you try to play Randy Savage, you look funny. But if you play you, and they had a lot of people trying to play different roles, and I would have scrapped all that.
I don't know if you were watching at the time. What do you think Vince pulled that whole entire invasion angle when he bought WCW, and they just had 87 titles on TV, and they never had the big money matches, and they brought all the WCW jobbers to feud rather than the Hogans, the Goldbergs, and Ashes. It was during July 2001.
Now you're saying when Vince bought him,
Right.
why did he do what he did?
Yeah, did you think he blew it?
No. Vince, oh yeah, he definitely blew it. Because they lost all that audience.
It was like about 3 million fans were watching Nitro.
And they disappeared. But part of that was, and I mean, you know, Vince is a person that's bigger than life. But he is a human being. And not to Ted Turner. To Ted, this is just, you know, another program I've got, like 100 movies.
Someone doing baseball in the off season.
Yeah, I mean, you know. But to Vince, this was a life and death struggle. Because while Vince was wealthy at the time, he wasn't a billionaire. And here's Turner, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 billion. And so, you know, Vince was fighting for his life. So when he finally was able to buy WCW, it's like he said, I'm going to flush him down the toilet. And he did. You know.
That's one of his biggest knocks. A lot of people say he can't appreciate people who are created elsewhere.
Oh, I don't know about that. He treated Jeff good.
I mean, guys like Goldberg went to the wayside. Flair was there, but it was just because he was retiring. Maybe he got this whole, resurgence.
Well, but he found a place for Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, because they made him look like a joke a lot too.
Well, I know, but I mean, you know, Vince has a comedic. Like, it killed me that he made Terry Taylor the Red Rooster.
Right.
Do I think he just single Terry out to kill his career. No.
He just I'd be a funny gimmick when he finds someone who could do it.
Yeah, he just, he.
We still has the big fat guy who dances around on.
Yeah.
He has this comedy that he thinks is funny.
Yeah, Vince believes that he's in the entertainment business